Welcome back everybody into another daily recap. Today is Thursday, the 4th of August. And as always, we're going to have a look at what happened during New York at gold. This is right before New York open, and as you can see, we have last demand area with also the previous highs. We also have a slightly minor possible support when the price made this rejection on the 15-minute. And of course, we have this big supply area that is due to this previous price action, and even going back in time. So we're going to see what happened today, and nothing. Let's jump back into the 1 minute, as you can see here. So this is New York open, and price is already, New York open is already, now this is 230, is already reaching the supply area, the low of the supply area. But as we know, it's most likely that the price will reject the top of it. So that's why, and we're going to see it in the screenshots. That's why I was looking for sells over here, but my trade plan is to trade after 230, which is exactly this candle right here. So I have, let me check. As you can see here, I have this live trade idea when the price aggressively rejected 6 minutes after the New York Stock Exchange, New York open, rejected the top of the supply area with a nice stop loss. I think this is a 15, or yeah, it should be 15 pips stop loss. And let me see here. Yeah, I think it's even, I think it's a 20 pips stop loss. Yeah, 20 pips stop loss for price to continue down. And something that I have to bear in mind, because it will come back later, that when I want to take this aggressive with not much confirmation sells or buys at supply/demand, I should give some more range with the stop loss compared to some sniper entries in continuation. For example, here, if you want to enter buys, you don't need 20 pips, you just need to cover these previous areas, 15 pips, and it's good to go. Because if it goes back down, then it's creating a new lower low. But if I want to catch a reversal at a big supply, especially with this candle, I should give him some more range. But anyway, as you can see here, with this entry, price always stayed between the 10 pips range and never closing above the top of the supply area. Of course, if you waited for some double top or further confirmation, these candles were the absolute good entries. 1 or 2, this one before, these are very nice. This is a further confirmation because the price is retesting the PPL and going down below. I think I also have a live trade idea of this one. You see, this is, yeah, no, this is only this one, 15 pips. But afterwards, what happens is that at 2:30, which is the time of my starting of trading, I saw this candle, this bearish candle, but only in the broker and when it was already closing, because TradingView was frozen up until this very first candle because of my internet connection, not for problems of TradingView. So I didn't manage to enter, even though this was absolutely a clean entry. So we have the order block at the supply, we have an impulsive move on the downside, a retest of the low of the order block, and then very aggressive bearish close with the liquidity grab, and this one is a clean, easy entry. And as you can see, the price is not super clean afterwards, but it goes to 20, 26 pips, then probably goes to break even, or maybe not, goes to 30, but then afterwards will go down to the demand area. What is worth noticing is also that now price is creating a sort of PSA with these lows being respected once and twice, and especially this candle failing to make new highs for 6 minutes, and then you have an engulfing bearish. I didn't manage to enter because that was my I was working full time in my job, and I even looked here. Before that, it was still Bill alive for 20 pips, and again missed a pullback entry. That's because when I as per my plan, when the price is coming from a supply, I only look for pullback sell. I'm not looking for buys, etc., etc. But I was not in the mood of actual trading because of my full-time job, and I was not focused. But this was a nice entry. This one was very, very good, but it is what it is. Afterwards, price is reacting at this minor demand area. I should have already written that, like yesterday, that this is a demand, but not the strongest. So not to take it for like, okay, go enter buy over there. Yeah, it goes 10, 12 pips, but it's not high probability good setup. What you want to see is also that this bearish candle, I'm seeing it right now, is a good confirmation for entering continuation sells. If price breaks above, so that demand is actually strong, then it's a small loss, but you have a good continuation trade, absolutely. And we're coming towards, okay, exactly. So this was the new 4-hour candle, makes the top wick, makes his pullback, top wick being created, and then price continue down. More than a continuation, this is again pullback, and then these candles are failing to make new highs. If you want to see this demand being as a support, you want to see price to break above, close above, and then make a retest and continuation up. But here is clear that the price is failing to make new highs, and then you have more bearish pressure, especially if you look at these two candles that are closing very weak, and then the very next one is breaking below. You can even enter here to take advantage of the impulsive move and with the momentum and volume. But to see, that's why doing the full-time job I cannot trade as properly, as good, is that to look at each candles, you have to be focused on that. You can't just have a glimpse and look at it afterwards. You have to be focused, and if I cannot be focused, then that's why I cannot have high probability and very good trade. So that's why also I didn't take any trade, not all day. We're going to see. As you can see, now price is breaking impulsively the lows of this demand, showing that the demand is not valid anymore. So what I'm looking for is the demand turned supply, so that if this one was for price to push up, the moment that it breaks down, I'm expecting a retest to continue down, and that's why I saw this candle retesting these previous lows. Obviously it's not exactly, but look at the entry when the candle closed, and this is like 30 pips, and as you know, maybe you will be stopped out after 20, prices are going back, and then New York Stock Exchange, New York Stock Exchange is making the lower wick now. Where are we now? We are at a strong demand area. So this demand area is strong, but so live. I don't know if I had the image here. Yeah, here I only have it from the demand, but I also had the based on the 5 minute, I have this because I saw the price action here getting rejected. So that's why I said, okay, if the price fails to break below here, then we can have exactly at this previous PSA, which was charted here from a bounce of this level, then we can possibly have further continuation down. Of course, now we are talking about New York Stock Exchange opening. If it fails to break, then you can enter buys. There you go, price is closing exactly there. You wait for the next candle, it's closing bullish. You can have your entry. Of course, as I said, 20 pips because you have to cover the PSA, and then you have your profits going up and up. You see that the price is breaking the previous PSA. Let's jump back there. Price is breaking and retesting the previous highs. So this was the last lower high before it made a new and last lower low. Now price is making a new higher high and higher low, and very, very close. They're not very structured, but you can see breaking. As I said before, you wanted a closure, a retest, and continuation up. That's what is a candle closure above. The retest with the bearish candle failing to break, it's higher than the PPL because also we have these wicks here. If you look at the wicks, that's exactly where the price is retesting. But anyway, it doesn't really matter when this price is breaking, but even after the retest, you can have another entry if you didn't catch the first demand entry. Now the price is going bullish. Now here we are coming towards like 5-10 minutes before the 10 a.m. candle. So I had this plan, possible pullback to continuation up, or pullback in continuation, or then reversal at this previous strong supply area. So what happens is that I'm waiting until, this is my first trade, I'm waiting until 10 a.m. and 10 a.m. candle, this is the 1 minute before, the 10 a.m. candle closes like this. I entered live, like in the middle, with the 15 pips, I guess. Yes, not too much. You see is not good, but the problem is that my entry was not good. I should have entered, if I entered exactly at the candle open, because my trade idea was valid. My trade idea was that all this bullish move was the pullback before the 10 a.m. candle. So at the 10 a.m. candle, I didn't need too much confirmation. Just price staying there the first few seconds, I should have entered. And this would have given me 10-15 pips profit. And instead, or at least break even. Because it went like 13 pips from there, but from my level, it didn't, I entered here, it didn't go to my break-even level, so I had to cut it off, I think over there, 50%, and then 50% at stop loss. What is then happening? But anyway, this is a trade that I took based on my trade idea. There you go, yeah, 50% here, 50% at the stop loss. The entry was not good, could have been better. What happens is that I look at the price action, and I see that the price is going against the supply, the low of the supply area, which also gave price some nice rejection over there. So I entered exactly this candle close. Actually, if I entered the candle close, it would be better, but I entered when the candle was bearish over there. So it actually was a live candle, okay? And I gave it only 15 pips. Okay, price survives here. I didn't take any partial here because the candle, or maybe I took partials there. Yes, I took partials at the very next candle when it was, okay, I took partials when this candle closed bullish because it's my first candle closing above my PPL, and my stop loss was too short and was taken out by this candle top, and that's not good, especially because I mean, if my entry was here or the same, I want to enter the supply area, I enter exactly at the level so I can have a bigger range, or even here but with 10-20 pips stop loss, because I have to cover at least a couple of PPRs. Then the price would have been respecting my PSA, as you can see, would have given me my 15-17 pips, and then I would be good to go. Then it will jump back to break even, but as you can see, then it's all good to go. It's quite stupid to take a loss just because of the top of the candle instead of having it full cover the VPL. But anyway, that is fine. And as you can see, it would have gone 15-16 pips. I was also looking for this one. I didn't take the next screenshot because it went like 10 pips. I know, even more. It went like 15 pips. But anyway, you see that the supply is now turning demand. My level of reference here. First of all, this one is not a strong supply area. So this one I should have not entered because it's not a strong supply. But it was based on my trade idea. This one was a strong supply and I should have given simply more stop loss range, but it's fine. Anyway, now if I was still trading, but I was not, first of all, I should have not trade at all, not this and not this, because after all this time, after missing out on 70-80 pips move every all along, now from there it's more than 100. Here is basically 100. From here is 90. So I should have not traded at all. I also saw this move on the arc side, 100 pips. So okay, yeah, I saw what I have to see, and I understood the price action all the time. So that should be okay. But I should have not taken this trade. But anyway, this is now a supply area turning demand. You see that the price is breaking as it's staying above, is failing to make new lows. So the supply, maybe it's very high risk and reward to enter buys, but this candle is so nice. But anyway, you can see again here, price is giving you the confirmation price is possibly turning back. But you took your 20 pips. Okay, you don't start to sell. First of all, because it's getting late. Second of all, because the price action is quite messy. And as you can see, I can even just remove this. Price will then make a new higher low, new higher high, and then continue making new higher lows, a new higher high, and then new higher lows. So the supply is turning demand. So let me show you the trades. Yeah, this one is the miss one, and these are the two trades that I took. This entry should have been above here to take 10-15 pips, and this entry the same. It's way too late to enter. Should have entered at the candle flip and give more range. You can see that my stop loss was right above over there. But anyway, this is it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed. See you guys tomorrow.